Hi, Norseman. It's Mrs. Seberg, and like I promised, we are going to do some mindful tasting. I'll do the tasting, but this is something that you can do at home with your parents or your brothers and sisters, anyone that you're living with, maybe grandparents. But it's a fun activity and it helps you focus on tasting your food, not rushing through your meals. What I noticed that now that we're during this pandemic, that we have a lot more time together, and hopefully you're able to eat meals with your parents now all as a family, because we don't have practices, we don't have other after school activities. So this is a good time to practice mindful eating, because it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for your stomach to feel full. So if you eat really, really fast, you could be eating a lot more food than you really need, and you don't know you're full. And by the time your stomach says you're full, you're over full. So it's best to chew your food about, they say 30 times. Now that, it's all about the just slowing down and not rushing. That's the best thing, because different foods probably would be kind of strange to chew something that kind of melts in your mouth. You wouldn't be able to chew it that many times. So, but that's the guideline, is 30 times. But I have a few different things here. You can use anything. I recommend like salty food, could be pretzels, sweet things, something with like a hard coating. I have some lemon heads. I've used hot tamales. Those are really, that wasn't a fan favorite in the third grade. That was a little too intense for some kids. I like those, but that was a little hot for some kids. And I have some fudge brownie M&Ms. Highly recommend these. These are excellent. And I have some Sour Patch Kids, the plain flavor. And I have Funyuns, and I got these three things from from the North Muskegon Elementary PTO. Thank you very much. We got those last week for Staff Appreciation Week. So we'll be using some of those things. So first, you can use a lot of your senses when you're eating. So for example, we'll start with the Funyuns. These are like onion rings, but they're like potato chips, sort of. So when I smell the bag inside, it does smell like onion rings. So, and then I can hear them in the bag. Hear the bag, but I can also, you can feel them. They have a texture to them, and you can hear that. Touch, I feel that they're bumpy, a little rough. And then the tasting, and I can hear that sound when I rub my hands over it. So, to taste, okay. And what I like to do when I have kids do the mindful tasting is to take a bite and then let it sit on their tongue for a little bit and just see what it does. Usually it'll start to melt or get soft. So it's hard for me to talk, but I will take a bite. It is starting to get softer, and when I start to chew it, it is very crunchy. I can hear it. It is very good. I haven't had these in a long time. They are really good. And I do taste the oniony flavor, and like I said, the crunch is good too. It makes it interesting. But like I said, you can use pretzels. They're crunchy and salty. Those are good too. So then we will use Sour Patch. I'll pick a red. And they have, again, feeling they're bumpy from the sugar. And Let's see, smell. Let me see. Oh, I do. When I do smell, I smell different fruit flavors, so you can use that. And again, hearing, I can feel the roughness from the sugar, and I can hear it. And then tasting, I'll take a bite. Let it sit a minute or a few seconds. It starts out sweet, and then because of the sugar, it's sweet. And then once the sugar starts to go away or dissolves, you can, the sour flavor comes in. So it has two flavors, the sweet and the kind of tangy flavor. A little sticky on my teeth. But it's interesting when you do take the time, you notice those things, because you notice the sweetness at first, and then you notice that it starts to, then the soury, tangy flavor or taste. But if we just hurry and eat and just chew really fast, and, you know, if we're watching TV or playing video games, we could, you know, eat these and not even enjoy them and the different flavors. So I really recommend trying to slow down and enjoy. Like I said, we don't have a lot to do now that we're, you know, in quarantine for a couple more weeks. So this is a good opportunity for you to do some mindful eating and have your parents do it with you. That's kind of a fun thing, and you can all appreciate the things that you eat. You could do it even during dinner. Like if you're having spaghetti, what textures do you taste? What flavors do you taste? What smells, you know, stand out to you? So you can use your senses almost with everything, almost every sense, even, you know, when you're, I'm trying to think with spaghetti, if you would hear, but you kind of would, because the noodles kind of squish around a little bit, and when you're twirling it on the fork. So there are some sounds that, not as much as like crunchy food, but it'll be interesting to see what other family members say that they hear or what they taste, because it could be a little bit different than what stands out for you. So now I have a lemon head. They have a hard coating, and let's see, I cannot smell anything with this. And you think with lemon you would, but I'm guessing that because of the hard coating that's keeping the smell in. So I am going to, let's see, put it on. It's sweet initially. I'm not gonna make you sit here and wait for it to, because these are kind of take a while, but when I bite, there's a hard lemony center to it, which is sour. Makes my eyes get a little, not watery, but you can tell when you have something sour, you can tell with your eyes could actually water with some foods. I know onions, it's true. Your eyes with some onions are stronger than others, but it can make you cry. But or tear up. So I still have some hard candy in my mouth, and now it's all sour right now. So that's interesting, and the longer you let it sit, you know, you could suck on it and then see how you could time how long it takes for it to go from the sweet to the sour. And eventually it would probably, as you suck on it, get smaller and smaller, and then you would just have a small piece of candy to bite. And then is that part, I would imagine that's going to be the sour part, but it'd be interesting to see how long that took. So my favorite new flavor, M&M's. Mrs. Seberg loves chocolate, so this is uh, a pleasant surprise in the M&M world, because they have some flavors that they had a jalapeno flavor. I think it was jalapeno, something that didn't sound good. So I never tried that one, but this fudge brownie M&Ms, they're really good. So, hard candy coating. Really can't smell anything again. And like I said, I think this is the hard coating that keeps the smell in. So, it's sweet. No chocolate flavor. Yeah, but as soon as you bite in, it's almost like eating a brownie or like the brownie batter. Very good. I love those. I don't think my family likes them as much as I do, so I'm lucky. Because if it's something they really like, they eat it all up. So, but those, I highly recommend trying those. Those are really good. But it's crunchy. Now, if I would have let it totally dissolve, it probably would have not been much crunch to it. But like I said, the hard candy coating, that just tasted, it really didn't have a taste. It was sweet, but it didn't have a taste like chocolate or any particular flavor. The colors don't represent a flavor, at least as that I know of when I've had M&Ms, but these are really good. And M&Ms, they have all different, there's peanut, there's almond, there's milk chocolate, there's dark chocolate, there's mint, so lots of flavors that you could try with your family. If there's a food allergy to nuts, just don't get the ones that have nuts in them. But this is, like I said, a fun thing you can do like on a rainy day. Now today it's sunny out, but you could do it on a rainy day, and it could just be with anything you have in the house. You could use raisins. Now Mrs. Seberg learned kids really don't like raisins, so I don't use those anymore. You could also use trail mix. That has like the chocolate, the nuts. It has some like shelled sunflower seeds, I think some of them do. So that would have everything that you needed, as long as there's not a food allergy with who you're going to be doing it with, or an allergy to nuts. But and if you're doing it like with friends like this summer, always check to make sure that person doesn't have food allergies, because we wouldn't want them to have something that they're allergic to. But take the time to enjoy your food. We have the time. I'm sure you've noticed we have a lot more time with our families, and it's something fun you could do with your siblings, parents, whoever, and see what they tell you, they taste, they hear, they feel when they're feeling the different food. But this is one of students' favorite activities. I think it's fun too to try the different things, like jelly beans are a big, they have all different flavors jelly beans now. So that's during Easter time. There were lots of different flavors you could have used for mindful tasting. But so try this with your family or, friends once we're out of this quarantine, or brothers and sisters. I think you'll like it. And, email me pictures if you want. I've had kids, I've taken pictures of kids. It's really fun to see their faces when they taste different flavors that they're not ready, that they aren't expecting, like the hot tamales. Those are, that was interesting. I really like them, but kids were like, oh, it's too much. So just try different things, and they can always spit it out, but it's just interesting to see when you take the time, what your senses recognize. So Mrs. Seberg will see you next week, and have a good weekend. Go Norse!